Larry Throgmorton. I am married to Karen Friels Throgmorton. I like being married to Karen Friels Throgmorton. She's a wonderful woman, a great companion.
My best friend. He is my best friend. I love his sense of humor. I love his gentleness. If we watch a movie, he's 2 Kleenexes ahead of me every time because he's got such a soft heart. And he can be very romantic. I like that he fell so hard so fast.
Maybe a year or so before I met Karen, I got involved with Cursillo, which is a religious retreat sort of thing. It's a weekend, 3 days at a place often in the country. Part of a Cursillo weekend involves lots of singing and guitar playing, which I like to do. Karen was what's called a candidate on the Cursillo weekend. That is, she was taking it for the first time. So I don't know what her first impression was of me as the music director on her weekend.
He had long hair and beard and all this, and he was all covered up. You couldn't see his facial expression anyway. But he was just that guitar player over in the corner, and I figured I'd never see him again. I wasn't thinking anything.
Karen and I were at a planning meeting down at the basement of Christ Church Cathedral. As the meeting was breaking up, I walked over to her and I said, would you like to maybe go out and do something together sometime? Well, sure, she said. When do you want to go? So we set up a date. I thought, well, that was fairly easy. She didn't say no, so I thought, well, that's a good sign. So things went well. On the weekends, every weekend just about, we did lots of stuff together and spent lots of time together.
And he started calling me every night, and we were together every weekend from pretty much when we started dating. Then things went got serious pretty quickly.
And eventually I said, I'm going to come over and I'm going to prepare a meal, a Valentine's Day meal that's going to feature broccoli.
Broccoli appetizers and broccoli juice and broccoli smashed like mashed potatoes, only it was going to be out of broccoli, and broccoli pie.
I can't remember all but fried broccoli, just a whole bunch of things. Every one of them was broccoli.
Well, I knew that wasn't going to happen, but it was a cute way to say, can I make a meal for you? Because he's a much better cook than I am.
I came over on Valentine's Day. I did prepare a meal, no broccoli. I can't remember what the menu was. I was nervous. Karen was looking forward to a good meal.
And then we ate our meal, and all of a sudden he was down on the floor, and I thought, we had a tablecloth on, how did the food get on the floor?
She told me that she thought I had dropped something. But I got down on my knee, I got the ring out, I opened it up, and asked her to marry me.
And out he whips this ring and says, will you marry me? And I can remember taking a deep breath and saying yes. And we kissed, and then a minute later he said, what did you say?
And I said, what did you say?
He was so nervous he didn't hear whether I said yes or no. I said yes. And meanwhile, while I'm hugging him, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I in for? Knowing full well that my life would never be the same after that. I couldn't imagine life without him anymore at that point. I couldn't imagine life without him. We got engaged on February 14th of 2003. And we didn't get married until the end of September in 2004. So we had about 18 months there, give or take. But we had wonderful friends who donated a lot of stuff to our wedding. I really felt like we were very loved on that day.
I was nervous, of course.
He cried through the whole thing.
Well, not through the whole thing.
Most of it, I kept hanging up to his hand like, get a hold of yourself.
Did I cry through the whole thing?
Yeah, you did.
I guess I am pretty soft-hearted when it comes to that.
I think my fondest memory, although it sounds goofy, was seeing him get so emotional about the thing. It was. I kept hanging on to his hand, but it was. It must have meant a lot to him to tear up.
I would like to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Mary Broadwood.
Larry has taught me to be a lot more spontaneous.
Karen has taught me that it is good sometimes to have some sort of a plan.
He sings to me all the time. He makes up verses to other songs about me and sings about everything that's going on.
Karen, what are you wearing? Things like that. So she gets a serenade every day. I could probably be happy being in an opera myself. Just sing everything.
I don't know the world is ready for that. I can count on him for taking care of me. I can count on him for just being here.
I just like being around Karen. We don't have to do anything. I just like being in the same house with her. I feel comfortable. I feel loved. I know she loves me. I know I love her. But we don't have to do anything. And I'm just perfectly happy being in the same environment with her.
I think we're just happy being together.
She's wonderful.
That was awful.